Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl, Mary Jane. Please like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and it'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. So, I like to say thank you guys for sharing, liking, subscribing, and commenting. I really do appreciate it, and I want to say thank you. And also, I want to start talking about Basketball Wives because it seems like the shade is very real. You know, I explained in a lot of other videos about, Jackie, Takari, and Evelyn. All right. So one of the main things that I did, touch up on is like, it seemed like the whole 5 to 6 episodes, but in the beginning of the season, they did talk about Takari and, Evelyn. And then once once Jackie and Evelyn got on bad terms, it just seems like it exploded with, Evelyn talking to Takari tweets, Takari this and that. I got the book. We're going to read lines of the book. We're going to laugh. This book is delicious. This book is juicy. And nothing seemed like it came from a place that they even cared about what really happened to Takari. It was just like a running joke because we're going to run and try to destroy Jackie and her family. We're not going to care about Jackie has other children that are affected by what they're saying about their mother. Takari's not Jackie's only child. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, if you guys are really about woman empowerment and helping people, and supposedly Evelyn, fixed my life and all this other stuff, you're on a different page. You was on a woman panel talking about forgiving, talking about moving forward, talking about, all this other good stuff that you were saying. But it didn't show in the season. It didn't show in the season, and then it was just like it was a running joke. You and Jennifer, we just got advanced copies sent to us. The book hasn't even been released, so Takari had to send the books to you because they haven't been released. You got advanced copies. How did you get that? You had to reach out to touch her. Then you're talking about phone boning where, Takari's daughter, like piggybacking off of when Jackie was saying that she feels like, what's Evelyn want to fuck my daughter or something? And then you have a conversation with Shaunie, and it was like, it's not like I be phone boning and her daughter. Like, it's like a joke. It's like you don't care really what happened to Takari. That's what bothers me, is that you're acting like you care. You acting like you're doing something good. You acting like you're exposing Jackie because she hurt her daughter. She did this to her daughter. No, what the problem is you're doing it for your storyline. You're doing it to make you look better. You're doing it to take everybody's mind off that you didn't have a storyline the whole season. And as we know now, which is evident, which the evidence is there, is that you were no longer with your baby's father, the MLB player, Carl Crawford. You wasn't with him anymore. So why did you start off the season showing, you was getting treatments, IBM, IBF, all that other stuff, when you knew that your relationship was over? You guys were separated a year before you got back on Basketball Wife. You're living in different houses. He's showing you other women that he's with. He's flying women down to his house. He's not flying women to a hotel or to a stash spot, to his house. You guys are not together, and you've been running around with Shaunie way before Basketball filmed. So basically, it was a plot and it was a ploy by you, Shaunie, and the producers to throw Jackie under the bus and use this Takari thing as a storyline to make yourself look better, to get ratings. And that's what bothers me about the situation, because nothing came from a genuine heart. You wasn't genuine about Takari and her feelings and what happened. It was just something, okay, I'm gonna take everything that Takari's saying, I'm gonna run with it, exploit it on Vh1. I'm gonna exploit Takari, I'm gonna exploit Jackie, her family, her other kids, and her husband, and anybody else that loves Jackie or have a family with her, because you didn't have a storyline. Your meal ticket was gone, so you needed a meal ticket, and you needed to, solidify your spot back on Basketball Wives. And we all know, some of us may not admit it, but Jackie's been on the show forever, and she's one of the top dogs on the show. She's one of the OG dogs on the LA crew of Basketball Wives. And I'm not saying Jackie's a great person. I'm not saying Takari is lying on her mother. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm just pointing out is you being vicious and being low down and dirty, and knew in the back of your head with Shaunie that you were going to exploit Jackie and her daughter's situation for ratings. That's what pisses me off. That's what bothers me, because you knew that you were never going to have another baby by Carl Crawford, because he's separated. He didn't want to marry you. He didn't want to be with you and everything. And Basketball and Bossip dropped the story. So you guys, so this is what Bossip says. Basketball wife breakup. Evelyn breakup happened in February. So what was her storyline? BS? Was her storyline all BS because of her thinking that she's gonna get pregnant and have another baby with him when they're not living together? And then it further says, this week broke that Evelyn has parted ways with her retired baseball baby daddy, have called it quits. But according to TMZ, they are still friends. The pair have a 3-year-old son, Leo, together. Lozada and Crawford got engaged in 2017 following his proposal with a 14.5 carat ring, which values at $4 million. So I guess you need to pawn that because you got high taste. And it says, but a rep for Lozada told TMZ the two split back in February after Evelyn became suspicious of Carl's fidelity. Crawford did not respond to the request from TMZ. The report claims Crawford and Lozada are focused on being good parents. He currently resides in Houston while Evelyn lives in Arizona. You guys don't even live in the same state. But what is really interesting to us is that Evelyn's storyline this season definitely mentioned attempts at having another baby. We are now wondering if Evelyn's basketball wife watches a fraudulent plot, since she's talking a lot of dad, baby daddy, baby talk while her and her baby daddy were on the outs. The show wrapped in May, long after Crawford and Lozada split. So now that we know this information, does it explain her attitude towards Jackie Christie? Yes, it does, because now this is her storyline, her plot, because now, you know, she's not gonna have a baby. She's not gonna have the wedding on the show. None of that stuff. And so she had to sell herself to get back on the show. But it was underlined, like, if she knew that this wasn't gonna work. But now, who can I go after? First, you went after Tammy a little bit. And then that wasn't really too interesting because people was going to get sick of that because it wasn't really that big of a deal. But if you get in it with Jackie, and her daughter just dropping this book, and she's saying all this stuff about Jackie, and a lot of people want Jackie to be, her feet to be put to the fire because of things just Jackie has done in the past. So why not go after Jackie, and then as it goes along, have Shaunie co-sign? And to have Shaunie co-sign is like, okay, everything is true, because why would Shaunie do anything negative if it's not true? So this is where I'm just like, it was just exploiting Takari and her situation and Jackie's family, because you didn't have a storyline. You wanted a job, and you wanted to get back in the limelight, and you wanted to be in the public eye, because now you are available and you want to be out there so you can get popping, and so other people that are like professional sports players could see, oh yeah, she's still shining, let me give her a shot. So to me, that's my opinion of what Evelyn did, Shaunie co-signed the situation. Anybody can come after anybody, but once you use someone from the outside, you use Jackie's daughter and her book that she's publishing, and then you start off with, oh, I gave your daughter $3,500. To me, it was all a plot. The $3,500 was a plot, and to get in good with Takari and take advantage of that situation, because Jackie has been saying over and over that her daughter does have issues. I bet you talked to Shaunie about the situation, and Takari was easy prey to exploit their situation, because even though Takari's hurt and she's upset with her mom and she doesn't have a relationship with Jackie, Takari does have brothers and sisters that do have a relationship with their mom, and for whatever reason that Takari doesn't have that relationship, Jackie's still a mother of 2 other children, and she still does have a husband, which you trying to have but you don't. So anyways, that was just my pointing out of the situation of just Evelyn being really dirty and nasty, especially when she is saying that she's coming from a different place in her life, a different point in her life. She's mature, she's grown, she's another mother now. She was supposed to be getting married, supposed to be trying to work on a baby. None of that was true. None of that was factual. So if I'm going to solidify my spot on this show, I'm going to go after Jackie. She's an easy target. She's easy to go after. A lot of people don't like her as well because of all the shit she has done in the past. So I'm going to exploit the situation with her daughter, not caring about, Takari's mental illness or mental problems that she have, or caring about Jackie's mental illness and mental problems that she has as well, or how their children are affected by what you're doing, reading lines of the book, talking about their mother like she is a monster. Granted, I don't know if she is or not, but what I do know is you exploited the situation and you didn't care anything about anyone's mental health or privacy. You just wanted revenge, and you wanted ratings, and you wanted a storyline, and you wanted to be on next season. And if anybody had any sense, I think Jackie, Shania, and Malaysia and Brandy and a couple of other females need to have their own show on Vh1. Bitches that got fucked over by Evelyn and Shaunie and the producers. Basically, the producers of Basketball Wife. They need to bring all the disgruntled employees back and have their own show in LA and let these Miami chicks go to Miami and do their thing, because it's so wrong that you used a person that could be unstable, and you already said Jackie's unstable, so why exploit that situation if you did have a heart? If you cared, you didn't care, you didn't have a heart. And it's already been shown that Takari's medical bills and everything were taken care of. That $3,500 was to say, hey, can I use your name? Can I talk about the situation? You got a beef with your mom is this and that, your mom's talking about my daughter, your mom's doing this, I can help you with promotion for your book, and then at the same time I can held your mother's feet to the fire. And you being a mother doing something like that says a lot about you, and it says why you are not married. It says why men will always fuck you but leave you high and dry, but not too high and dry because you got a ring that's worth $1.4 million. So it shows like you don't really have motherly instincts, because if you really did have motherly instincts, you would have tried to get Takari's help. You would have tried to work that situation out, do an investigation, find out what's going on, try to have a common ground that, what, I don't have a storyline, but you know what my storyline is going to be? To help Jackie and her daughter, to help Takari get to a better place. I'm not just going to say Takari feels this way and she's saying all this other stuff, but I'm going to bring Takari with her sister. I'm going to try to bring a counselor onto the show. I'm going to bring Fix My Life on the show to do something to help this child. So because this child is raising children, so to stop a generational curse, I'm going to do what I can to really help that situation instead of exploit it. Instead of you taking the high road and really trying to help and assist in the situation and the problems, you highlighted the negativity and you went in for the negativity. So now this is going to be a big wedge between Takari and her brother, her sister, and her father. And you have something to do with that. And that is the very reason why I believe you're not married. I believe that this guy left you because he sees your ill will, your ill intent, and having a really malice heart. A malice heart. And if you can do that to her and face her every day, what can you do to him and his family? So it's just a no-go. And so now it even got even more real. So then yesterday, Vh1 dropped a old episode on their website talking about Jackie emotional therapy with Takari Lee and Chantel, Throwback Thursday, Basketball Wives. It's kind of a coincidence that Baller dropped a story about Evelyn's storyline must have been fake, and it was fake. And that's why she was coming after Jackie, because she didn't have a storyline, and she was never going to get pregnant by Carl Crawford, because he already moved on. He already have chicks at his house. He's already chilling. His family don't want you around, and his friends don't want you around. So So if you got that going on, and he don't want nothing to do with you, so then what would your storyline be? To attack somebody on the show and then get assisted by your friend Evelyn. Get assisted by Shaunie. And it says in the story that before Basketball Wives even started filming, Shaunie and Evelyn was running around trying to figure out how they were going to place Evelyn back on the show and make it interesting. But now we got VH1 drops this emotional therapy session about Jackie because the shade is real. Like, you want people to hate Jackie so much, Shaunie and Evelyn, and make Evelyn look like she's a good person, and make Evelyn look like she's worth being on Basketball Wives, and she's gonna be worth having a storyline. What storyline can she have? She doesn't have a personality that is likable. She's not friendly with people if they don't agree with her. I don't see her being nice. What she gonna explore her son next and bring him on the show? Or she gonna start talking about her breakup with Crawford? He done moved on. She needs to move on as well. So what is the storyline gonna be? Probably nothing. And if Jackie's still on the show, she'll still be coming after Jackie with this Takari issue. And so VH1 also let everybody know where they stand. They stand with Evelyn and they stand with Shaunie. Well, Shaunie's one of the producers. But to have a whole network to go after Jackie personal issues with her daughter, and so they can make sure they solidify Evelyn and Shaunie keeping up the mess on Basketball Wives, they dropped this throwback session so they can throw shade at Jackie and also to get more ratings for Basketball Wives reunion. But what does this say? This says that if we're throwing throwback Jackie, Christie, and Takari Lee and Chantel on VH1 to get at Jackie, that means the whole plot, the whole storyline from Jump Street for Evelyn and Shaunie were to eventually to come after Jackie. They didn't want to do it right away, but they maneuvered their way in. And then on here on the VH1 website, they post a therapy session. Because what, you guys feeling guilty? You want to say, oh, we tried to help? Evelyn wasn't involved in that. So what you guys trying to do? Keep up the mess so Evelyn can solidify her place on Basketball Wife and try to bully Jackie out of the show. And you guys are dirty. I mean, dirty because you're exploiting a situation of a child that says that she's abused and she was hurt. And you're using that situation to elevate Evelyn's storyline and Shaunie's storyline and elevate the season to be more interesting because you have nothing else. That's what I'm pointing out. That you're exploiting someone's childhood that says that she was abused and hurt. You guys are no good. You guys are wrong because you use this child, you use this girl to make sure you get ratings and keep a job. What does that say about VH1? What does that say about you, Shaunie? You got children. What does that say about you, Evelyn? You got children. And you guys are never taken into the accountability of the other two children. And it's one thing to have beef with somebody, but it's a whole nother level when you use their child as a ploy, as a storyline for ratings, because you never had any good intent. You only had ill will from Jump Street. And it shows that you guys are miserable, hateful, low down, dirty people that would do anything for ratings and keep your show on. So all types of organizations that deal with child abuse, you could say can come after Jackie, but they need to come after VH1. They need to come after Evelyn. They need to come after Shaunie for exploiting this child. And if everything in that book is true, that means that she would more likely than none have mental illness, mental problems from her childhood, which everybody will say Jackie caused. But you're exploiting her situation for ratings, for sales. You're not doing nothing to help abused children or people that have gone through this situation and are hurt, and they're watching how you guys are demonizing her as well, because you're like, oh, this juicy book. First you talk about, crying 1 minute, then boom. So it makes people think that you don't even care. And if someone's been abused and had a bad childhood, well, these are how the Hollywood women really feel about us abused children. It's just fun and games. It's just jokes. It's just for ratings. So you shouldn't have any feelings, which is shady. I don't know what you guys gonna do next season. But if Jackie walks away, what's gonna happen? What is Evelyn's storyline gonna be? What is your storyline, Shaunie, gonna be? Because, next season, what you're going to talk about, we hate Jackie again, we don't like Jackie, or you're going to bring Takari on the show. What are you going to do to explore it? And if this situation was on the other feet, you guys would not want your childhood that they believe that it's abusive to be exploited on the show and read little lines out the book. Granted, Takari's going to get money from it when people buy the book. But you're not doing anything positive to help the situation. You can put money into Kari's pocket, but that ain't going to help her mental ability. That's not going to fix her relationship with her brothers and her sisters and her father. Because now, where her mother works at, she's in the mix of that and making her family and her brothers and sisters look bad as well. It's dirty. It's a low-down, dirty business. And you think two women with children would better guard the situation with Takari and make sure everyone's protected in that situation, because it's going to have some effect when this show goes off, or if it doesn't come back on next season. Takari still will have a problem and won't have a relationship with her brothers or her brother or her sister or her father or Jackie, and she's alone where she's at. And you're helping building that bridge and that gap. You're helping making sure you're adding flame to the fire where it's never going to cool down and she can easily go back to her home or make up that situation, because now you're adding fuel to the fire to make it even worse, where the brother and the sister are going to be hurt. That damn, these women, coming at mom. Granted, we don't believe mom was the perfect mom, but you're giving them fuel and you're texting, you're calling, you're sending books so it can be read on the show to hurt the situation. And it's going to look like it's a money grab on both ends. A money grab for Evelyn to be on the show, a money grab for Shaunie to be on the show, a money grab for their sister. So then people won't even take into account that this child was really abused. And on top of that, this child is pregnant now and she has other kids that she's trying to raise. And she's building a bigger wedge that may not be able to be healed, and you guys are adding on to it. And at the end of the day, Evelyn, you want to go back to hustling and trying to find you a new support man to support you. Shaunie, at the end of the day, you're going to go back to your Shaquille O'Neal money, your VH1 money, and your lavish lifestyle, while this girl was somewhere and she just been used and spit out. I'm out. Peace.